The story you are about to hear is a simulated record. All events are fictional. If you're uncomfortable with disturbing themes, please consider turning back now. Humans all have dreams. Like me, I once dreamed of becoming a reporter for the New York Times, winning a Pulitzer, writing an expose that shook Congress, my signature, on the front page. And now, the harsh reality. I write for a tabloid that prints off color and pays me through PayPal. The content? If it's not exposing live streamers, it's alien abductions of cows in remote towns. I bought a one-way ticket with the money from 3 gossip articles, and now I'm in Hawaii. Of course, not for vacation. A deadline's breathing down my neck. Losing this job now would be a death sentence. I needed something shocking. So I came here, following rumors of a mermaid off the local shores. From Hawaii, boats sail across Polynesia. This is the gateway to the ocean. And around here are islands without names. I checked the time, nearly 3 a.m. I walked past the beach. Of course, no bikini girls at this hour. Just the sea, cloaked in fog, cold as a burial shroud. I wandered away from town to an old harbour. The mist here even thicker, so dense the pale harbour lights can't pierce it. This dock is ancient. Most fishermen now use the northern port. Aside from rusted wrecks half sunk in salt water, I was alone. Then a faint light cut through the fog. A small fishing vessel approached, its hull dulled by years of salt, flickering floodlights swaying in the night. No name, just a scratched registration number, HR2113. I couldn't see the captain's face, only a silhouette blurred in the mist, as if part of the ship itself. Old nets, cracked buoys, and a few faded Polynesian talismans hung along the rail. Polynesian charms are not just decoration, they're sacred symbols among the Maori, Hawaiians, Samoans. Spirals, eyes, hooks meant to keep the sea's spirits from rising. The air on deck stank of fish and engine oil. The old captain, skin like dried coconut husk, deep-set eyes, quiet. The young deckhand, covered in squid tattoos, always smoking, neither the type for small talk. I gave a silent nod. Our destination had been arranged the day before, a nameless archipelago to the south. I felt myself getting sleepy. Maybe it was the sea breeze or the fatigue or something else. To be fair, I hadn't slept in over 24 hours. I noticed a small resting cabin behind the wheelhouse. I cleared my throat, asked. The old man didn't turn, just gave a slow nod. As I passed the younger sailor, he stared at me, unblinking. After a few steps, he muttered,
"You'll get there by dawn. Set an alarm for 2 hours. Me and the old man won't wake you."
I rolled my eyes. If this was a hotel, it'd be 1 star. They called it a rest cabin, but it was a damp, cramped, bare cell, barely big enough to curl up, ceiling low enough to bump your head, reeking of sweat, old cigarettes, diesel and fermented fish. Actually, 0 stars. Sleep hit me like a wave, eyelids heavy as lead. I collapsed into the hammock and sank into sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, in an age where truth is twisted, there are still those who dare to chase darkness and drag it into the light. And tonight, we honor one of them. The voice echoed in my ears, faint at first, then louder. Solemn ceremonial. Someone was calling my name. I opened my eyes and found myself in the front row of a grand auditorium. I wore a sleek black suit pinned to my chest, a name tag, the New York Times senior reporter. Was this the Pulitzer Awards, held here? And who wears a name tag to a prestigious ceremony? Ridiculous. But before I could question more, thunderous applause erupted. All doubts drowned in the sound. I stood, all around me, smiling faces, some nodding with approval. I took a deep breath, straightened up, and walked to the stage. Under hundreds of watching eyes, I accepted the crystal trophy, cold and heavy. Under the flashing cameras, I smiled. Then I smelled something, raw, fishy, a stench that had no business at a ceremony like this. I leaned to the host. "Do you smell fish?" The clapping stopped. The host's smile remained, but it was stiff like wax. Instinct screamed, "Step back." Then the host collapsed, not fell, melted, into seawater. In the audience, every person opened their mouth. Their eye sockets were hollow, yet I knew they were watching me. I panicked, tried to run, but the trophy in my hands somehow had become a writhing, slimy octopus. It weighed me down like an anchor, dragging me deeper into the abyss. Then a voice struck my ear like a bolt of lightning. I woke up. The cabin was flooding, panicked. I scrambled out. Outside, pitch black. Only a skewed floodlight barely lit the deck, and wild lightning slashing the sky. The little ship was caught in a massive storm. I looked for the old captain and the young sailor, but saw no one. Unless they jumped overboard. Rain pelted like slaps. Wind sliced to the bone. All I could hear, thunder, waves, and something knocking. A fish landed on deck. Then another. Then a third. Then dozens, slamming into the ship like driven from the depths. The floor was slick with fish blood. So much, the waves couldn't wash it fast enough. They stared at me, eyes wide, mouths opening and closing, as if whispering something I didn't understand, but I knew I should not listen. I looked up, and in a flash of lightning, I saw it. Colossal stone pillars, black as scorched coal, tall as sunken bell towers, etched with twisting glyphs, like roots or veins. Something was climbing them. I don't know how to describe it. It looked cobbled together from sea life, clam shells, gills, gelatinous flesh, sunken eyes, crab legs, a pile of wrongness crawling with purpose. Then one pillar lit up, not from flame, not from electricity, but with a light that erased everything untrue. The creatures burned. No screams, no flesh, just ash falling like wet sand. The ship screamed like a dying animal, deck cracked, steel buckled, and I was thrown into the sea. No sky, no ground, only a sigh, and seawater like arms that had held too many corpses. I woke to my phone alarm. Took minutes to gather myself, then reached for the screen. 5:31 a.m. My head throbbed, body ached like after a beating. I sat up, rubbed my temples, and staggered outside. Sky still grey. Drizzle fell. Wind carried salt and cold. The old captain and young sailor stood near the bow. Both looked exhausted, dark circles, faces heavy as soaked stone. Seeing me, the young sailor scoffed. Nice nap, huh? A bit longer and we'd be fish food. Still dazed, still haunted, I blurted out, "Did the boat get attacked by a sea monster?" He frowned. "Bad dream, huh? It was rocks. What monster?" But when I glanced at the old captain, he shot a quick look my way. Cold, metallic. The young sailor shut up immediately and turned to check the engine. I turned toward the sea. Far in the mist, a row of jagged rocks emerged, like broken teeth rising from the grey water.